Hi, I'm Tom Bradford. In this video, we're going to talk about what's the best business plan for your innovator or startup visa application. Now, there's 2 points I want to make here. The first is whether it should be broad or narrow. The second one is whether it should be traditional or digital. Now, let's deal with the broad and narrow point. I was speaking with a client last week for whom I'm now acting. He was talking about having an app for one of his innovative product range of health and fitness products. Now, this particular app was narrow in that it focused on one particular metric, one particular health metric, and it related to only one of his many products, some of which he has patents for in other countries. Now, there's always merit to being specific. The more specific you are, the greater clarity you can often have about what you want to do and what you think the business can achieve. However, there's another aspect to this. While you're in the UK on the innovator visa, which is the visa category that we're applying under, you only have the right to work in the UK on the business that you choose and the business for which you're endorsed. Now, if that business is very narrow, you may find that in 12, 18 months, you might want to do something a bit different or expand from that original idea. Now, if you expand beyond the parameter of the business for which you've been endorsed, and you're essentially doing something outside of that category, you may have to get a fresh endorsement, which, if it's avoidable, I think should be avoided. The cleanest route is to have one idea for which you're endorsed and you carry that through to its conclusion through the 3-year visa term on the innovator visa. So what we are doing now is, really having spoken with him, there is a digital aspect or a potential digital aspect in relation to each of the physical product range that he's produced and which he manufactures. So there's going to be really now a plan for a suite of apps, a number of different apps, each of which relates to one of his physical health and fitness products. So this will give him the ability to pursue his existing business and also to expand his full product range into the UK market. That's the first point then. Narrow or wide, you need to make a decision and commit to something you're going to follow through for the coming 3 years. A quick addendum to that. You are only restricted in what you do within the UK. In other words, your right to work in the UK. It does not prevent you from investing into other businesses, but your right to work is restricted. However, that means that for the rest of the year, so 180 days, 6 months, you can work outside of the UK and you're not restricted in respect of that activity. Your visa condition only relates to what you're doing within the UK. Your right to work in the UK is restricted to the business on which you're working. The second point I want to make is traditional versus digital. Now, the requirements of these routes are that you have an idea and you're contributing an idea that is innovative, viable, and scalable. Now, the question is, does innovation limit you to technology or digital? The answer is not necessarily. Most of my clients' ideas are in nature digital or technology based. However, this is not exclusive. I can give you some examples, but I want to stick with the main example I've just used, which is my client's business with his healthcare product range. He's applied for patents in respect of many of them because they are different and innovative, although quite simple in nature. This highlights, I think, that you don't just have to have a digital or technology business. You can have a business that is a traditional manufacturing business. But most businesses are going through some form of digital transformation on their journey. And that journey could intersect with the move to the UK and bringing your product ranges or services to the UK. Most businesses are having to enter the digital age. And I think that's often the place to look when you're asking yourself, well, do I have something which meets these criteria? Is it innovative, viable, and scalable? When it comes to innovation, the digital transformation aspect of your business, everyone's got to have a digital strategy, will be important in determining that. So to stick with this example, my client certainly does have a standalone innovative product range, but he is bringing, as part of that proposition to his move to the UK, an app element. There will be an app associated with each product or group of products, and those apps will be interconnected just as his product range is interconnected. So I hope that's a helpful example in highlighting the 2 points, whether you should go for something broad or narrow, and whether you should go with your traditional business or whether you should focus on your digital strategy when you're bringing your business to the UK. These are 2 very important features of your business plan, and I'm very happy to speak with you about your business ideas and how you would qualify under the relevant visa routes. You can touch base with me on WhatsApp or email. I have a free consultation and I'd be very pleased to speak with you. Thanks and bye for now.